Hey guys, so we're back again for another stocks by request. For those who don't know what stocks by request is, it's where you guys send the stocks that you guys want me to analyze, and we're gonna talk about it from a technical analysis standpoint. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I make daily videos in both of my channels about stock market trading and investing. So if you want technical analysis, the basics of the market, and fundamental analysis, subscribe to both of my channels. The first one is Marvin Germo. We have over 1,600 videos about it already. And this one, Stock Investing Made Easy, where we do a lot of raw and unfiltered, unedited type of content to help you analyze the markets with confidence. So for this video, we're going to do a combination again of Philippine and US markets. I want to talk about J&J, Emperador, Dito, and URC, and we're going to break them down from a technical analysis standpoint because everything you need to know is found in the chart. So let's go. If you guys are excited, comment below and let's do this. By the way, if you guys want to be part of stocks by request or you want your stocks to be included, put them in the comment section and then we're going to try to make content off of that. We're going to try to make videos based on the stocks that you guys requested. Or if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section or slide a DM on my Instagram. Or if you're part of our Patreon community, you can send the question there as well. So let's do this. Let's do this and let's go. First of all, I want to start with U.S. markets. I want to start with J&J. As you all know, I made videos last week on U.S. tech stocks dropping. As we saw a lot of profit taking happen, and we saw the likes of Apple, Google, Amazon, and even the ones that have pushed up from AMD uh, to Tesla, which had a lot of talk because of its stock split. Now we're seeing at least a bit of profit taking, and please remember that's normal. It's normal for company investors to profit take on stocks that they had positions in. And similar to this, you're seeing J&J right here. From this point in time, it dropped to around 109 US dollars in March. So as you can see, majority of the stocks, not just in the US markets, but also in the Philippine market, started to sort of bottom out around March 23, 2020. So what's so interesting about Johnson& and Johnson though is after hitting the bottom of March 23, it hit around 109. It started to push up, and the push up was very, very fast. From 109, we saw it go to as high as around 153 US dollars per share, amounting to a 40% return, amounting to a 40% move up. And the thing about that though is it happened over a month. So as you all know, the ones that have moved up in the US markets massively were mostly stocks that were connected to tech. So Johnson and Johnson, by all intents and purposes, is not a tech company. That's why it's not. It moved up, but it's not as high as what other tech-related companies have had over the past few months. So one thing is so interesting though. If you look at this and allow me to stretch out the chart, you will see that I mentioned in previous videos that the all-time high of a lot of the stocks in US markets was around February. So even though it dropped last March, the fact that it hit the 153 level in April was already higher than its highest high. But that being said, for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, I want to reiterate and I want to double down that when certain stocks move up, there's also a point in time that instead of it correcting massively, uh, there's a possibility that it could also move sideways. Now, since it moved up a lot, it started to move sideways already from April to where we are today. So the whole sideways progression for Johnson& Johnson is the 136 level. Please write that down as that's the current support for Johnson& Johnson. Then it has a resistance at around the 154 level, which is already evidenced by this and this. So as you can see, those who bought and positioned last July for this entire sideways play, they are making around a 12 to 13% gains from here to here. Those who took profits here, and it's very evident if you allow me to zoom in. People who took profits here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, or if you even backtrack almost 2 weeks already of the stock trying to have a hard time breaking past the 153 level. So if there's one thing that I'd like to note, there was a bounce that happened intraday here. last Friday for Johnson and Johnson. As you can see here, the stock opened at 150, then intraday dropped as low as 146, but it hit the 50-day moving average. As you all know, the 50-day moving average also functions as a support level. So that being said, because of the buying that happened here, it caused it to push up but closed at a lower price at 148 US dollars. Now, one thing that could probably happen because of this bounce, it could attack again and once again try to hit this level. But uh, it's still very, very clear that the main area, the main support level is at the 136 level. So please jot this down. You have a weaker support at 149, then another support level at 144. Should selling happen, it could probably retrace to these levels. Then if selling continues, next possible area is 142 where the 200-day moving average is. Then lastly, it could retrace to the 136 level. So what am I saying here? If J&J fails to break out from 154, the common possible move and if selling happens is it could just go back to the 136 level for the midterm. Not exactly just in the next few days, but it could possibly retrace to that level over the midterm because that's how sideways markets work. Now let's look at Emperador. Emperador was a request by one of our Patreon community members, Ray. This is for you. So I tried to answer your question from a investment standpoint. I sent you some questions over Patreon regarding the fundamentals of it. But if you want to learn more about the charts, you mentioned that you wanted to do it from an investing standpoint, but I wanted to share also bits and pieces of it from a trading standpoint. So if you will also notice it, the way you analyze stocks from US and Philippine markets is the same, especially if you're using technical analysis, because the way you interpret and analyze the charts are mostly the same. So, Emperador, as you can see here, from here to here to here, is still moving into its uptrend after the bottom last March. As you can see, it's almost the same bottom as the US market. So, one thing is very, very clear also. You see Emperador break out from the 9 peso level, which formed a resistance as evidenced by this and as evidenced by this as well. But something happened at August 10 that it started to break out from that level. And that being said, after the breakout, this is now the new progression of where Emperador is moving. You have a resistance at 11, and then you have the support level at 9. It's also trying to build another support level somewhere here at the 9.9 level. So that being said, the 20-day moving average is also supporting it. And the drop that we saw from here to here was somehow confirmed via this RSI cross down here. And that's why if you try to pin it down, it was confirming this particular downward movement. But that being said, if the 9.9 level confirms itself as a smaller support level, then possible movement will still be here on track to go to the 11 peso resistance that we're pegging. So a bounce from that, it's giving the stock around an 11% upside. However, if it fails to hold the 9.9 level, it could possibly retrace and go back here to the 9.2 level, representing a retracement of around 7.3%. So please watch the 9.9 level if you are trading Emperador, or at least trying to track the price. It's a very, very short support range that could make the stock go back to the 11 peso level, or at least try to attack the 10.9 11 peso range, or it could also be a make or break position where it could drop and go down to the 9.2 level. So there. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you and this is something that's giving you enough insight to trade the markets. Next is we're gonna talk about Dito. Thank you to everyone who have been sending questions about the chart of Dito. Over the past few days, I think we had over 200 plus messages in Instagram just for Dito. So here we are again talking about it. As you can see, I'll try to erase this first so we do it a bit clearer. So this was the chart I also showed you in the last video, and it's quite evident. By the way, we made a fundamental analysis approach for Dito, PLDT, and Globe. It's in my first channel. You can check it there. I talked about the sales, the net income, the dividends of the stock. Then we talked about also valuation. So if you are more of an investor, you can check that out on my first channel. So anyways, from a trend standpoint, you can see it's quite clear here that from April 2020, the upward push that we are seeing for Dito is currently intact. With this being the main trend line. The main trend line right now is resting at the 2.9 level. I think there could be a shot that it tries to it will move up until the 3.1 level, and that's where you see it start to hit that and start to bounce. So for those who are asking it from a position trading standpoint, the longer upward move is still intact. One thing that you need to watch out for is this. It's very evident that Dito started to bounce from this 2.5 level at some point in March. After bouncing at this level, it hit the 3.5 resistance. Very, very clear also. It hit the 3.5 resistance here. After hitting that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 days of failing to break this resistance, it's now trying to hover and trying to push back down to this level. So it's clear also for Dito, our current support is at 3 pesos. Our current resistance is at 3.45. So the stock closed at around 3.29 last Friday. Downside of this is selling continues. It will go to the next support, which presents a 6.1% retracement from the current price. And from the current price also to the resistance, it's at 3.6 or 4% upside. So what you can do is you can wait up until, if you just want to make a quick trade for the stock, you just wait up until it hits the 3.09 level as it tries to do this. Let me erase this first so it's clearer for all of you. Here, if it retraces, hits this level, at this area, you can start to buy. As it starts to bounce from this, you can set your target price at 3.45, and that will give you an upside of around, this is around an 11% trade also for you. But please do note now, if you're buying it at 3.1 and it does not hold, it does not bounce, it starts to fall from that level, please make sure to get out of the position. Please make sure to cut loss, especially if you are a quick trader. One thing that you could watch out also, if it bounces, if it drops from this level, is it could hit the longer trend line, then it starts to bounce again. But rest assured, sa dami na nagre-request na to, we're gonna make more and more videos on top of it. So, but what you need to remember is your resistance for Dito is 3.45, smaller resistance. Then your larger one is at the 3.86 level. Then we have a support at the 3.09 level for the stock. So comment below if you're learning. By the way, for those who want to join our community, we have communities in YouTube. The link is in the description below. Then we also have a community in Patreon. So the link is also in the description below if you want to join us, and for if you want to build more, I guess, more relationships outside YouTube. So links are there. And then for those who want to learn more about technical analysis, I have books via Shopee that talks about technicals, but also we have books about fundamentals and the basics of the market. They're in the description below. You can click that, and Shopee will deliver wherever you are in the Philippines. And then for yung tinatanong ng ibang tao, paano ako taga-abroad ako? The techniques of people who are overseas is kung may kamag-anak sila or friend that's in the Philippines right now that's going back to their country, they have it sent there, then padala system, pinapapadala na lang from wherever they are. So that you could also do that. Anyways, last stock, let's talk about a consumption stock. Let's talk about URC. Uh, what's very evident about URC is this. Since we made so many videos about URC, I want to answer this from a shorter term perspective. This is how URC looks like right now. If you notice it, it's moving sideways also. And if you notice, a lot of the stocks that we've been talking about over the past, at least over the past few days, or at least weeks, they've started also to just move sideways. It shows that there's nothing significant causing people to want to push or buy the markets higher. And while I'm saying this also, majority of the stocks or majority of the funds have been pulled out. Foreigners have been selling our markets. But for URC, if you want to analyze this, it's very, very clear that it's at the resistance at 144. The clearest area for you to buy, to have at least a larger margin, is if it goes back to the 116 level, you pick it up somewhere here and you start to buy at this area. So 117, you buy there, set your target price to the 144 level. It gives you around a 24% upside. So if you want to just make a quick trade in this, I'd wait because currently it's at the resistance level. But if it breaks out from 144, next possible resistance for URC is around the 158 level. So it would be prudent right now, if you are a quick trader, to at least deploy patience and wait for it to hit the next support. But as you can see from this area, it's trying to build its own uptrend already right after the drop last March. this is its low, then it has another low. For this to be successful, it really needs to break out from the 144 level to produce another higher highs. For those who attended our stock smart sessions, you know the concept of uptrends. There has to be a higher low, but above and beyond the higher low, there also has to be a higher high. And for that to happen, it needs to break out from the 144 level. So there, that's our recap for J&J, Emperador, Dito, and URC. I want to know, I want to hear your thoughts. Among the stocks here, what's something that uh, you got a lot of clarity from? Based also on this, what would you want to buy more later on? So there. I hope that this gave you insight and gave you enough analysis. Please remember, these are not stock picks. It has to be you who should make the decision on your own if the stock is worth buying or not. I hope that while I'm doing this, you have your charts open. I hope that while I'm doing this, you have your notes also, that you are trying to simulate and practice this, so that please don't just remember the stocks that's mentioned, but remember the principles and the logic behind this. Because if you get the logic, you can replicate this. You don't have to copy what I do, but you have to copy the skill set and the strategy behind how I do it. So that pag kayo nalang mag-isa, kung nasa sa bahay nyo, kung nasan ka man, nasa London, nasa Japan, nasa Singapore, nasa Germany ka nanunod nito, I hope that you still get enough insight from this, and then it allows you to trade different types of markets as well. So there, I hope that you guys are watching this and studying this on a Sunday, because what you do on your weekend will help you. What you do on your free time will help determine how financially free you will be also later on. That uh, don't just waste time doing nothing. Don't just waste time not building you or bringing you forward towards your goals, towards your financial goals, towards where you need to be financially. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you. And by the way, if you got a lot of value from this, appreciate it if you can smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, so that YouTube pushes this video up. And this is a fairly new channel, by the way, 6,000 plus. But thank you already for those who have been supporting this. And it's nice to see. I don't know if this will ever beat my first channel, but I just wanted to make purely stock market content here. And let me know if this is something that's working. If not, okay lang din. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.